These days, it seems like everyone is constantly looking down at their phone, scrolling, following, tweeting, and friending to the point where people have no idea what it's like to live in a world without social media. Well, 21-year-old Bailey says she could never be without her phone because she met someone special through Twitter. 8 months ago, she liked a tweet from Jasmine, and from there, they fell in love. Bailey says their romance is like no other love story you have ever heard, and she cannot wait to share it with the world today. Take a look.
My whole life changed the day I met Jazz because she's the most spectacular woman I've ever met, and she makes me so happy. In a sense, I've been in a relationship with myself for 8 months, but I know it's Jazz inside me, and it's a real relationship.
So, who is Jasmine, and how did she become Bailey's, what I call, obsession? Well, Jasmine is a total stranger, has no idea who Bailey is, and for 8 months, Bailey has bombarded her with thousands of love messages. Now, Jasmine says she can't seem to get rid of this girl. Bailey's mom, Ericka, says she's lost her daughter to this fixation with Jasmine. Take a look.
Growing up, my daughter Bailey was very smart, very funny, very much my little girl. Bailey actually got a full dance scholarship to a college in Massachusetts. Now I fear that my daughter has become someone I don't know anymore, and it breaks my heart. Bailey is completely delusional about her love life. About 8 months ago, Bailey told me she was a lesbian and that she had met someone. I was confused. She'd always had boyfriends, dated boys. I didn't see it. Bailey insisted that the person she was in love with was famous and she couldn't publicly acknowledge the relationship because it would damage her reputation. Bailey would get very upset when Jasmine wouldn't contact her, and I actually told her several times to get rid of Jasmine and move on. Then, when Bailey told me that Jasmine was moving things into her apartment, I felt very scared. I thought she might be doing drugs, but then the more rational she seemed, the more scared I got because I feared there was something seriously wrong. Bailey creates extensive conversations and scenarios in her head that she's had with Jasmine. It's not real, it's not happening, it's in Bailey's head. Right now I fear for my daughter's sanity.
Well, now Jasmine, who Bailey has never met, is actually the one who wrote into the show. So Bailey didn't write in, her mother didn't write in, Jasmine wrote in. She is very concerned about Bailey's obsession with her, so here's what she told us.
I'm being cyberstalked by a girl I never even met. Bailey calls me her mother and even her God.
Jasmine knows what I feel and what I need.
She thinks we speak to each other through our minds.
I talk to her all the time. I'm talking to her in my head right now.
She's even traveled across state lines to come and try to meet me.
My relationship with Jazz started through Twitter, and I just thought she was the sexiest person I've ever seen in my whole life.
The first message that I received on Twitter from Bailey was about 8 months ago. She said that she was in a relationship with another person pretending to be me. I told Bailey that I wasn't who she thought I was, but she insists that she knew me.
Jasmine speaks to me in pictures, emojis, and her posts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
I'm not talking to her through her walls, her brain, or my Instagram posts.
She had responded to my tweets. She didn't use my name, but it's very clear things of like, hey, that's about me. I know that, like that's my shirt you're talking about, you know?
She sends me hundreds of bizarre messages day and night.
We share music, we share art, we share tweets. Every single thing in our life we share. I mean, we are so close, it's like gross.
She has different nicknames for me, and she wrote them all over her bathtub wall. And the most disturbing one that I've seen was the one with me, her dog, and it equals hell and a heart. I have no idea what that means, but it's very scary. I'm afraid one day she's gonna hurt me or herself.
I wanna marry Jasmine like right now, like 10 minutes ago. When Jasmine gets on stage and we lock eyes, like I hope she proposes. I hope she even like makes it so crazy that she brings someone with her to marry us on stage so that I'm never, ever afraid, ever again. I want her for life.
Well, other than not liking the lineup, and I'd give you a handkerchief for crying, but there aren't any tears. But Other than not liking the lineup, what's your hope today? What is it you would like to do today?
I would really like to meet Jasmine.
Why?
Because I love her, and I believe that there are some very interesting things that happened to me and that I've seen and that she's done and that she said.
Why her? I mean, there's 336 million people in America, minus you, that leaves the other ones. Why her? Why did you choose her? Why pick her? Why the two of you connect?
So I was catfished first. I went into this store and I thought, oh my gosh, this girl is so cute, but I'll never ever be able to go back in and tell her. So I pick up the phone and I call her and I'm like, this is my name, find me. So the girl finds me. Well, they catfish me and I end up finding Jazz's page, so I have to cheat on the girl. Been told I'm not allowed to say her name.
No, you don't want to. It doesn't matter what her name is.
Well, it does, because she's very dear to my heart. You're very dear to my heart.
The girl that catfished you?
Yes. And so...
She was tricking you, but she's dear to your heart?
So...
You never met her before you went in the store?
No. I had met the girl at the store, and I called. And then through there, she found me on Facebook, and we met up and we talked. And then we continued to talk, but I didn't realize that it was actually Jazz. Through there, I ended up clicking on Jazz's page because this girl was not treating me right. It's all right. I just feel really attacked, and y'all all look at me like I'm this person, and it's like I would never have done this. I asked her. I said, "Are you gonna break my heart?" And she said, "No."
Who?
Jasmine. This is so hard to talk about because it's been an 8-month-long experience, and I feel like I'm just being treated like I'm this ungrateful kid who doesn't work, who's in a fantasy world, who tells you what to do. And
how did Jasmine tell you she wasn't going to break your heart?
I asked her. I said, "Are you going to make me cry?" And she responded, and she said, "No."
By text or?
By a message on Instagram.
And when was this?
This was the day that they called me to be on the show. And I have the message saved.
You say that you truly think it's the love story of the century. Really?
I do, yes. I'm writing a book about it, actually.
It's the love story of the century, but you've never physically met.
No, sir. I love Jazz, but I don't even call her Jazz. I call her Mama. I call her Mama T. She's been my mother my whole life. I don't know how this works, and I don't know how she does the things she does, but she didn't start being my mother when she came into my life, March 21st. She didn't. She'd been my mother from the time I was born, September 17th, 1996. She is my mother, not Ericka, but Jasmine. I asked her on the plane today, can you marry me and can you adopt me? Can we do adoption paperwork? I don't care that people will think it's weird. Let me be your kid.
Bailey says she met Jasmine 8 months ago when she circled like on one of Jasmine's tweets, and it was love at first post. Bailey says she didn't want her mom, Ericka, to be part of the show because she says she's just too judgmental of her relationship with Jasmine. But her mom is here, and there's no way I would do this without a responsible adult here with this young girl who I think is losing her bearings. So let's take a look at what the mother had to say, and then we'll meet her.
I found out that Bailey and Jasmine were not in a relationship about 5 weeks ago. Jasmine contacted me through another family member, and I spoke with her on the phone. Jasmine told me that Bailey would not leave her alone, and that if we didn't get Bailey to stop contacting her, she was going to have her arrested. I told Jasmine to cut off all communication with her and to stop responding to her or texting her. And that's when Jasmine told me that she hasn't had any communication with her, that she doesn't call her on the phone, that she doesn't text her. I was shocked, and so I talked to Bailey about it, and she said, "Oh, she only contacted you because she cares about me." In her mind, Bailey can't separate fantasy and reality when it comes to this relationship with Jasmine.
It's good to meet you. You've been watching from the beginning, right?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think about her conduct since she's been out here?
She's been very manic. She's been extremely happy, and then very, very sad, and very definite that she didn't want me here.
Why do you think she's gone down this road?
I think she grasped onto her because she couldn't deal with the pain that she was going through. There were, after I dropped her off at college, she was attacked at college, and that was about 12 days after I dropped her off. And after that attack, I saw a very different side of Bailey. My child, who had always been this huge extrovert, became very apprehensive of men. She became very apprehensive of being stuck anywhere. She didn't want to be alone. She wouldn't go get gas at night. She wasn't really participating in college activities. And then she came home in December for Christmas and told me that she didn't want to return to that college. It was just too far from home. It was too scary.
What do you think her problem is with you? Why do you think she's decided that you're not okay?
Why I'm evil?
Well, I tried to soften that a little.
It's okay. I'm a very realistic person, and I'm very blunt and honest, as you just heard. I think she doesn't like because I challenge her on every time she tells me these things. And I'm like, okay, Bailey, this really can't be true. Like, this can't be happening. Like, honey, you haven't given me any proof. You haven't given me anything. This is all just, you know, it's just what you're saying. And I don't see this person, like, I don't see them liking your tweets. I don't see them on your Facebook. I don't see any pictures. I don't see that. Well, and she told me, well, you wouldn't because you wouldn't understand the way we talk to each other.
She has sent some messages to Jasmine about you. She says, quote, Ericka just screams and makes me feel like I don't deserve to just be me and breathe. She says, quote, she doesn't like my thoughts and words, and that's me. And how do I tell her I hate her for not helping me through this with comfort and love? Quote, a friend told me the night before she came to college, she held her mom and cried and begged her not to go and told her she was scared. And I think to myself, I've never had anything like that. What's your response to that, to those three? Those are just examples.
It kind of absolutely destroys me because I've done everything for my children. My whole life I've set up around my children. I've never not been there when she's needed me. I know I'm not the softest person in the world, and I know that I'm a very disciplined person. Like, my life hasn't always been rainbows and lollipops. I'm very sorry that she feels like I'm not a place of comfort and love. Kind of kills me. I was in the green room watching her on stage, and I asked if I could come out here and hug her because it was killing me to see her cry on stage. Less than 12 days after she started college, my daughter and her roommate were trapped in a stairwell by 3 young men.
One man physically blocked my way and started caressing my face, and his hand was moving lower. My roommate at the time smacked him with her backpack, and so I was able to push through. But I was stunned. I was in shell shock.
Because of these assaults, she no longer could work, and she stopped being able to live in her apartment with her roommate, and she stopped dancing. Eventually, Bailey left that college for good.
I really isolated myself. Luckily, I was able to bring myself back in a half sense. And then I found jazz, and I realized that we are 2 halves of a whole, and I have never felt more whole or more loved in my entire life.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.